Genesis 4:8 follows God's merciful warning to Cain in verse 7, an appeal for him to master sin rather than be mastered by it. Tragically, Cain disregards the counsel, allowing anger, jealousy, and pride to fester. This verse records the first premeditated act of human violence, fratricide, the murder of one's own brother. The event flows directly from Cain's inward rebellion against God's standard of worship and his refusal to humble himself to obtain the blood sacrifice he lacked. Verse 8, "And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and slew him." Key phrases: "And Cain talked with Abel his brother. And it came to pass, when they were in the field, rose up against Abel his brother and slew him." In Hebrew, the concepts for these phrases are as follows. 1. And Cain talked with Abel his brother. Vayomer Cain el Hebel ahiv. Vayomer Cain el Hevel achiv vayomer. And said, suggesting verbal engagement or conversation. 2. And it came to pass, when they were in the field, vayehi behiotam basade. In the field, symbolizing isolation from others, possibly a setting connected to Cain's agricultural work, the very domain of his rejected offering. 3. That Cain rose up against Abel his brother and slew him. Vayakam Cain el Hevel achiv vayahargehu vayakam. Rose up, a phrase that conveys intentional aggression or rebellion. Vayahargehu, killed him, the first human death recorded in Scripture, not by natural cause, but by murder. The Masoretic text leaves Cain's statement unfinished, implying either a deliberate omission or an abrupt shift to action. Cain talked with Abel, his brother. This may suggest deceit or confrontation. Cain could have lured Abel into the field under false pretenses, masking envy behind conversation. His words, once meant for reconciliation, turned to premeditation. This act fulfills the warning of verse 7. Sin had been crouching at Cain's door, and now it rules over him. When they were in the field, Cain's domain, represents the place of self-effort, the work of his hands that God did not accept. Symbolically, Cain murders Abel in the soil of his own pride, where he once offered his rejected fruit. The physical ground becomes the witness of his defiance, and soon will cry out with Abel's blood. Verse 10. Cain rose up and slew him. Cain's rising up reflects rebellion not only against Abel, but against God himself. Unable to destroy God, he destroys the one whose faith pleased God. Cross-references rents 1 John 3:12. Because his own works were evil, and his brother's righteous. In an irony, the man who refused to bring a blood sacrifice ends up shedding innocent blood, his brother's. What was meant to be an act of worship becomes the foundation for sin's full expression. Murder born of pride, jealousy, and unrepentant rebellion.